ChatGPT has taken the world by storm, and I want to show you how you can make a custom model or GPT in ChatGPT and OpenAI, have it take actions in the real world using Zapier. If you guys don't know what Zapier is, it's a tool that will connect your GPT to millions of different automation options. The first thing you're going to need to do is create a custom GPT. If you've never done that before, it's actually pretty easy. You need a premium account, and then you'll click on this Explore, you'll do Create, and you'll create a new one. I already have one that I'm working on. So this is my custom GPT. What it is basically anytime someone has a question about an offer, this has a knowledge base and will answer on that question. But I wanted to be able to take a couple more steps. I wanted to be able to find an email, input that email, and then from that email, I wanted to be able to draft a response and then save that as a draft so my team can then go make any edits and go ahead and send it. So you'll come in here, you'll go back to that custom GPT, and I have to click on edit. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. So this is where we're going to get into custom action. So first off, really quick overview. You're just going to name it, a description of what it does, your instructions here, any actions you want to take. You'll input your custom knowledge base, and then what we're going to really work on is those custom actions, integrating Zapier into this, which allows you to do anything. So if you're looking for any automations through Zapier, this is how you're going to do it. So first thing we're going to do is click on that configure. So I'll link a step-by-step guide to this as well. And this is already configured, but I'm going to go ahead and just delete this so you guys can see what I have to do. All right, so I'll come back in here and configure. So it's really easy. Once you kind of understand what it is, you're going to have to go to Actions, Zapier, GPT, Docs GPT. This is what it'll look like. I'll link to this in the description. And I am going kind of fast because I want to make this, just easy to follow along. You're going to get started. There is the guide on how to do it. I found the guide to be a little confusing, so that's just why I'm going to show you guys. So you'll take this URL right here, and you're going to do an import, then import. Now it's basically going to pre-create all this code for you. So you don't have to touch any of this. Thankfully, you don't have to do any coding in this. And then if you want to make this public, you need to add a privacy policy. If I try to save it right now, it's going to give me this note. So that's where this goes. So let me just pull up my company's privacy policy. Okay, so I put in the privacy policy. Now I'm going to just go ahead and save this so far. Configure. So now the reason why I'm using this is we get hundreds of emails a day, and they come in and questions are all over the place. We have a lot of offers, and the team sometimes gets confused on what URL to use, what offer, what the details are, what the timeline is, because there are so many to keep track of. And so they're going to be able to use the GPT that we create to come in here and manage most of it internally. So the next thing we need to do once we've done this is we're going to go set up actions. So I have a little note tab here. You'll see something like this attached to it. So you're going to go to this URL, which I'll link below, and that'll basically authenticate you and get you started. And then it's going to redirect to the actions. So I click start. You have to just confirm yes. Since I've already done this, it's already set up. And this is what it's going to look like. And now this is where you build those custom actions. So what I wanted to do is basically find an email. So that's going to be this one, and then create a draft based on a reply. So I set up all three because I was just experimenting and I didn't know which one exactly I needed. But these are all actually fairly easy to set up. So all you're gonna do is add new. You can come in here and search for any Zapier integration that works, and there's basically literally thousands and thousands. I just want the Gmail one, and I'll click that. And then this is what it's gonna look like. You'll connect to your Gmail inbox. I've already set all this up, but you connect just like you normally would connect a new account. Okay, so we're setting this all up. Basically, I left all this as default. The only thing you can change these if you want to go to a specific email, if you want to save, things like that. Most of this will work more or less like a normal Zap would work, and so you don't have to, it's not that complicated. The thing that I want to do here is you're actually going to make sure to name this exactly what you want. I took out this kind of semicolon, and I left everything else, and I hit enable. So I'm not going to enable another one because it's going to be the exact same that I already set up. So let's go ahead and delete this. So this is what it looks like. This is exactly how I set it up. And you can see that you had to click show options, and then I named it. And then what you're gonna hit is done. and then it's going to show enabled, and you'll do that for each one. So all of these titles were exactly what they, when you add a new one. So you can do Gmail create draft, Gmail create draft, and you can see you can add a label, you can do whatever you need to do like you normally would be able to in Zapier. So we have all of these, and the actions are basically set up for us already. It was pretty quick and easy, so that's what I created. Now there's one last step, and this was the step that I thought was the most confusing. If you come back into this original one, you're going to need to copy and paste these details, which I will also put in the description, into your schema or into your rules in your custom configure. So all this is good. And basically if you come here, you'll look down here, and this is what we're pasting this in. So the only thing that's different that we're gonna need to change are these actions. So basically you're gonna take this, and this is the somewhat confusing part, and you'll see how I did it, but I'm just gonna put this in here so you can see. And then you're just going to, this is the action name, that's why I told you was so important, and then just the action URL, which is literally just the URL that's there. So I'm gonna separate these a little bit so it's a little bit cleaner to look at. So you're gonna come back into here, and you're just gonna grab this name. You wanna make sure that you're copy and pasting exactly. And then grab the URL that's attached to it, which is literally just this URL up here. And that's it. Now you have to do that for each one that you want integrated into this system. So you want to grab this bottom one right there. And then again, just the URL up here. So now I already have these, so I'm going to delete this after, but you'll look, it's exactly the same. These are my actual integrations. And then I'm going to confirm, close that out. So mine's already set up, and then that's really the hard part. Now the easy kind of next step is you'll see that this isn't authenticated yet, or did authenticate, but that's already because I've already used this. You're gonna come back into create. I actually like to use some of my setup and testing in the create side because it'll actually go ahead and repair and fix if I need to, so I can ask it to do things. But I'm going to now do a prompt. So now I want it to search my inbox for an email from me, and basically now it's gonna go search the inbox and find that for us. It takes a couple seconds, but the reason why I want to do this is for my team, my customer service team, is I didn't want them to have to copy an email into here and then paste it back and forth and all these different steps. So now this is just asking to confirm that I can use it, and I'm gonna click yes, and now it's looking, and it's gonna do that. So basically I can do all those steps that we just showed you. Is I'm going to be able to find the email, I'm gonna be able to use my knowledge base to draft a response, and then I'm going to save it as a draft. Okay, so this is a common issue apparently, where you just need to refresh this page with the actions, which I have lost. So let me come back here. So it's the start or actions. It's probably because I was playing with it. Now let's try it again. There you go. So it found the email I was looking for. It's all working now. I just had to refresh that. I don't know why that's a common issue, but basically it's analyzing it. All right, so now I'm gonna ask it to draft a reply using our knowledge base. That's the advantage of a custom GPT versus just a chat, is this was gonna have all of our data. It's trained on our customer service, it's trained on our language, and it should come up with a pretty good reply. Okay, so it's currently working on doing that. It's drafting the reply for me. And one of the best things is it's also going through our most commonly asked questions, and it's including that so that way the person's more informed. And this is the thing that we found with a lot of our team, was they were being a little too short, not giving enough detail, and even when we'd use a template, maybe it wasn't answering all the questions that were asked. And we just want to make sure we have the highest quality of customer service. That's also why we didn't fully automate this, is because we still want it saved as a draft, and then the team can go make their changes, really make sure that sounds human and everything's looking exactly how we want it to look. Okay, so now what it's done is it's created the reply, it's given a call to action. Also, for anyone listening, I am giving a freebie away. If you guys use the link in the description for a free article on USA Wire, we're doing features on business owners at no cost. We do this, of course, as a lead generation process to find more leads. But anyways, so it hasn't saved as a draft yet. I would like to save this as a draft. Please save this as a draft in my inbox. So now all I have to do is have it save it as a draft. It's gonna come in here. I asked it just save this as a draft. It should automatically do this. So it's starting the action, and then we'll go over to this in a second once it says it's done, and it should hopefully be right there. And here it is. You can see that just reappeared, and that's the exact time. So you can see that's the exact email. It did move this, so like maybe we wanted to hyperlink this, which is why we would save it as a draft, and we want to change it to our signature, but it auto has everything in there. So it's really, really cool. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. One thing that I was trying to work on, which I'll give you a workaround at the moment, is basically I wanted in ChatGPT or in Zapier, I wanted to basically build out a custom workflow where it would do this a little bit more kind of rapidly for the team. And basically anytime an email was sent in, if it hit certain criterias, then it would come up with the response. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can do that at the moment because you can only select a specific model that's saved basically to the cloud. I think that's for speed reasons, but basically what you'll do is you'll create an email trigger. The workaround is that you'll create an email trigger, so it'll find that email for you, and then you'll use the ChatGPT plugin. You'll use the model GPT-4, which is not the programmed one, but then you'll have a saved conversation. So right here, you can use a specific string, you can have a saved conversation, and what you can do is you can train that conversation to respond, and you can explain to that conversation that each message is unique and new, or you can have it tie into an email address as well. If you guys like to see another video on that or other automations, please let me know and make sure to subscribe. Thank you.